Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another in-depth first-person walk-around video here on NNT Auto Reviews. My name is Tyler, as always behind the camera, and today we are checking out the new updated for 2020 Audi S4 and the Premium Plus trim level. Okay, so as you guys know, I like to show you the window sticker just as a little disclaimer to see what kind of options we're working with and with also the standard features we're working with. So Audi sets up their window stickers is that the standard equipment is on the left side, and I will scroll through. You could pause the video to get more information. You also have warranty, maintenance, and then your parts content information at the bottom. And if we take a look up here, this is our more important column that I like to focus on. And this is our packages and options. So this car does have quite a few factory options added onto the car, which makes it a very, very nicely equipped Premium Plus model. So first of all, we have the Daytona Gray, which is an extra almost $600. We also have the S Sport package, which has the adaptive damping suspension, the sport rear differential, and red brake calipers. If we move down just a little bit, we could see that Premium Plus package and all the contents that's included in that very large package. That's why I like to call it a trim level. Taking a look down a little bit further, we also have the navigation package, which obviously gives you that virtual cockpit, the navigation, the ability to see the navigation on the virtual cockpit and the actual screen. And it also gives you a 6-month trial on the Audi Connect. We also have the fine Napa leather seats, which are absolutely beautiful, very high grade quality seats. And you can choose between 3 different materials on your seats, which is pretty interesting. We also have the Bang & Olufsen sound system, the carbon Atlas inlays over the standard aluminum inlays. We have the Audi beam rings, which are kind of little projection lights on the underneath of the doors that project the Audi rings when it's dark out on the ground. We also have the all-weather floor mats, the wheel lock kit, and also destination charge of $995. And if we scroll down, we can see the total sticker price for this car is at $61,095. So you can see that this is really a well optioned out Premium Plus S4. Up here we have some shipping information and crash ratings, also our fuel economy ratings there. So, taking a walk around the side of the updated S4, you could really see some of the new body lines coming from the hood into the driver's door and from the rear door into the quarter panel. Now, those are lines that you won't see in the 18s and 19s model year. This is specifically for the updated 2020s as well as the new wheels, as you can see. However, we can choose between 8 different color options, this one being the Daytona Gray, as you saw on the window sticker, and the wheelbase stands at 111 inches even. Alright, so taking a walk around back, we can discuss our drivetrains and the fact that there is only one, and it is that fantastic Quattro all-wheel drive. Okay, so now let's get into the details of the exterior on the facelifted 2020 S4. Very, very attractive front grille for this car. Most of it is this kind of flat gray color, but they have these like metallic accents like just kind of placed on the tops of the inserts in the grille, which is really neat appearance for this car. However, let's talk about our headlights first, and the fact that you will get LED lights as standard on the Premium and Premium Plus, and then for the Prestige you actually get the Matrix design LED headlights, which is a little bit of an upgrade. However, the standard headlights like we're looking at here come with everything LED, the daytime running lights, the turn signals, the high and low beams, all of that is powered by LED as standard. If we take a look down south, we have a sensor on either side for the front collision warning, things like that. And then we also have these pretty neat metallic element right there. Again, of course, we have the grille and then this really nice metallic front splitter. Very premium looking car. And one thing I'd like to also talk about is you can get an option called the black optic package, which kind of blacks out all of the elements up front instead of having this chrome sort of color. These elements over here, the bottom as well as all in the grille, that will be all blacked out, which gives it a completely different appearance. On the grille we have a couple of badges, the S4 and also the Audi rings. But it's a very attractive looking front end, very nice styling update for 2020. Taking a look up at the hood, we have a pretty large hood width-wise. You could almost say it's kind of a clamshell hood because the fenders on this car are actually pretty small. A lot of it is taken up by the hood. Now on the S4 for the Premium Plus trim level, you have 3 different wheel options. These are the most basic, believe it or not, and they are very stylistic at 18 inches. You could also choose between 2 other 19-inch wheel options if you'd like. So these are finished in this silver color with a 5-spoke design. You have pretty beefy brake calipers. I believe they're 6-piston calipers, and your tires measure 240/540. Taking a look at the side, we have the aluminum mirror covers as well as the accents that go around the windows are all that metallic color. We have very nice side sills too that run the span of the vehicle. And then we also have the smart key entry. So one tap on the little square locks it, and if you just put your hand behind the handle, it'll unlock. And that goes for all 4 door handles. Back here we have the same wheels, of course, and same size tires. A little bit smaller brakes back here. And as you'd expect, we have full LED tail lights back here, so turn signals, brake lights, running lights, all of that is LED, and they are also the sequential turn signals as well. On the S4 you also have this very nice deck lid spoiler, as well as lots of metallic accents with the Audi rings, the S4 logo, and a diffuser back here with your typical S quad exhaust tips. Also, one more thing I'd like to mention is you have a trunk release and your rear view camera underneath, and you also have front and rear parking sensors. Okay, so hopping inside, I would like to discuss our interior color options and seating options as well. So you can order 2 different styles of seat. You can either get the sport seat or the comfort seat. Now the comfort seat comes with the warm weather package. It gives you a little bit more of an obviously comfortable seat, but you also get the ventilation function for the seats, and that's only available in the black color. Next, you can go for, which is the quote-unquote standard seat, which is very much the same style of this seat. However, you have the Alcantara in the center instead of the full leather, and those seats are available in two different colors, black and rock gray. Then we also have the top of the line seats like we have here, and these are the full Napa leather seats with the diamond stitch, the quilting in the center, and these colors come in either black, gray, or red like you see here. In specific, this color is called magma red. But back to the door panel, we can go over the materials and all the buttons on here. So pretty soft to the touch materials up here. The only place where it's kind of hard, not even really, I guess you could say it's sort of the same material up here, so it's pretty much soft touch all over the door. And then you also have some leatherette over here and Alcantara on the sides. You can also see the carbon atlas inlays, and as I said earlier, you will get brushed aluminum inlays as standard. We also have these aluminum door handles, your lock-unlock buttons, as well as your memory seat. As far as the buttons go up here, you'll be pretty familiar with them. You have your window controls, your power folding mirrors, and heated mirror controls over there. Then we also have these buttons to where you can activate the child locks individually for each side. You have your trunk release, a little bit of storage. And one more thing I'd like to talk about on the door panels is your speaker setup. Now, coming standard is a 10 speaker Audi system. However, this car, as you saw, was optioned out with the $950 Bang & Olufsen system. Now, this system comes with, I believe, just a little bit less than 800 watts of power and 19 speakers. Now, to me, this is a pretty darn good deal for that speaker setup. Taking a look at the left of the dash, we have a little bit of high gloss black and a little bit of the carbon atlas inlays. And housed in that carbon atlas inlays, we have our lighting, as well as our gauge dimmer that you could pop out, and then also your kind of all-weather lighting, or fog lights you could say. We also have a storage cubby over here, which is where you would normally store your owner's manual, and it goes in very, very deep. It is all felt lined. Also over here you could see better your cruise control stalk and your tilt telescope steering wheel stalk. We have our hood release off to the left and nice aluminum pedals off to your right. Also pretty nice sill plate that is illuminated at night too. And of course, these are our magma red fine Napa leather seats. And if you really take a look in there, it's beautiful attention to detail. You have this sort of gray contrast stitching with the quilting, and then sort of like a line that goes up with the S badging and fixed headrests. As far as functionalities of the seat, the only thing that isn't powered is the thigh extensions. Then we have a whole host of powered functions. We have up and down for both the front and the rear of the seat, back and forth. And then we also have our recline. We have our bolsters, which can hug you in and out if you'd like, for your four-way lumbar. And then you also have massage functions. So even on the base model, the S4 and S5 come standard with massaging seats. And I'll press that button once we get inside. All of your menus will come up on the screen, and they have a few different massaging presets which you could choose from. So at this point in the video, we'll check out the rest of the driver's cockpit. Hop in, I'll show you guys the key, and we'll start it up. Okay, so here's the key fob that you get when you purchase an S4. It's fairly traditional, except the fact that it has the little S badge on the back to differentiate it from the more normal A and Q Audi models. As far as functionalities go, we have unlock, lock, trunk release. You just tap the button twice. Panic alarm, and then we also have these little buttons on either side. We could squeeze those simultaneously and the physical key will come right out. What you need to do to start the car is obviously it has push button ignition like every other brand new car that comes out nowadays. Just keep your foot on the brake and hit the button right over here. Okay, so we can start off with what's right in front of us, and that is, of course, this very sporty looking flat bottom steering wheel. And there is two different steering wheel setups you can go with. This is your, believe it or not, this is your standard steering wheel setup. You can also get the full round steering wheel with the heated function that comes with the cold weather package. However, we are working with this one, and of course it is the most pleasing to the eye because you have these really cool looking dimples on the steering wheel where you're going to grip. Just gives you that extra little confidence and grip when you're going around corners. You have this nice red stitching that goes on the inside of the steering wheel, and of course the little S badge at the bottom. As far as functionalities go, we have these for all of the virtual cockpit settings, and then we also have some media controls. So your Bluetooth, telephone, voice commands, volume up and down over here, and then skipping between different radio stations or track. And we also have this little star right here, which is kind of a programmable button. So if you press that, you can go into the menu on the main screen in here and program what you want that button to do. Pretty neat if you ask me. Also behind the steering wheel is actually mounted to them are the paddle shifters. So as you can see, they move with the steering wheel. They are not column mounted. We also have a couple of stalks behind the steering wheel with the turn signals, high beams, as well as your wipers. Taking a look up here, we have the newest version of the Audi's virtual cockpit, and it of course has that hockey stick sort of style rev counter, which is very neat. Pretty cool looking if you ask me. You could also change it to a more traditional circular gauges if you'd like through the main screen, and I'll show you how to do that once we get into it. However, we're again going to use these controls to see what kind of information the virtual cockpit has to offer. And at any point you can press the view button and you'll get more of the trip information or whatever is in the center a little bit larger. So as far as the trip menu goes, you could scroll down to see your fuel level, your real-time consumption, as well as your average up top. We also have short-term and long-term memory, which is kind of your trip computers. And then we also have energy consumption and your driver's assistance features. And again, at any point you could press that view button and what you see in the center will get a little bit larger. It'll also pull up your oil temperature as well as your boost gauge. We could scroll between the different menus up top, so this will show you your radio screen. You can change between your different radio stations as well as press the corner button over here and change your source. Next is our phone screen, and we also have our navigation screen, which seems to be everybody's favorite. Pretty neat looking over here, pretty much no interruption screen. We can also change the different views to have the navigation just take up a small part or a good chunk of the screen. You could also zoom in and out if you'd like, using a little scroll wheel on the knob. Then we could also put in destinations over here if you'd like to. So again, very neat system here with the virtual cockpit, and I really like the way they set up the hockey stick design for the S models. Taking a look up here, we have a couple of Bang & Olufsen speakers, kind of a couple tweeters on the outside and a center channel. We also have some pretty nice soft to the touch materials up there as well. And we also have the all new touchscreen coming in for the A4, A5 models, and that's including the S and RS models as well for 2020. It is a 10.1-inch touchscreen that controls pretty much everything that the old system did. However, it's now a touchscreen in the most updated unit. So this is our home screen. It kind of shows you all of your different main menus, and then you also have shortcuts at the side. Also a swipe down menu to access your garage door openers, turn the screen off, kind of your sound settings and whatnot over there. However, let's take a look at a couple of our main screens. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going through this system, as you can find plenty of videos on YouTube dedicated to this new screen, but I will go through a few different functions. So here we have the radio screen. We could pull up a list of the radio options, and we can also change your source up there. We also have radio options there. Going back to home, we have our media screen and our media options. We have our phone screen and our phone options. We also have our navigation screen, and up here you can input your destination. We also have our navigation options. We also have our phone app screen, which if you have your phone connected, you could access the Apple CarPlay Android Auto from that. Just press the button, it'll bring you to the app. We also have our vehicle settings over here. So our drive select modes, we can quickly access through that through the infotainment. We also have our individual mode, which you can customize what you like, so you can have a combination of any selection that you'd like in the individual mode, which is pretty neat. The other modes include the comfort, auto, and a dynamic mode. Dynamic mode kind of opens off the exhaust and raises up the idling RPMs just to get you ready to get on the track, which is pretty neat. Also, going back into the vehicle settings, we have some efficiency screens, kind of more information about your climate control, your seats. And this is where we can access our massage functions here. So we have three different settings for the massage, which kind of gives you a different pattern of massage each time. And you could also select the intensity of the massage, and you could stop it right here. And then you could also choose to do the same with adjusting for the passenger seat on the massage. We have our lighting and visibility over here, and this car does have the full ambient lighting set up. Now I'm not quite sure if you could see it now in the daylight. However, it is a bunch of lights that'll come out over here and also underneath the doors and a couple of other places throughout the interior. We also have our parking aid, driving assistance, and then settings and service over here as well. And this is where you can set the preset for this button on the steering wheel. Over here we just have our user settings, messages, and then also app purchases. Then we also have our system settings over here. Some of them are redundant to the vehicle settings, but some of them are new and you can only access to it this screen. And I'll also show you the sound settings here. So very good amount of customability on this screen, as well as for just the sound settings too. And I have to tell you, I can't stress enough how good these speakers are for just a $950 option. Truly a really good speaker setup. Taking a look down here, we have both our climate control and then sort of some vehicle settings down there. As far as our climate control goes, we have our heated seats, which comes standard on all S4s. And again, you can obviously opt for the cooled seats in the warm weather package. We have our different temperatures to either side, which we can adjust, our defrosters, recirculation off, and then your passenger heated seat. It is a 3-zone climate control, so you can also set the rear over here. And as you can see on the buttons in the center, they are touch sensitive, so they will kind of illuminate to show you your different settings, and then you can actually click the buttons and it'll change the settings. We have where we want our air to blow, our AC settings, our fan speed, and then our different zones, and then your passenger where you want the air to blow. Beautiful carbon atlas inlays over there to where the passenger sits. Then we also have this accent that goes across that kind of gives it a mimic of the air vents. Down here we have a quick drive mode selector. We have the auto start stop on and off, traction control on and off. Then we can also pull up or deactivate your parking sensors and parking camera. You could also turn off the screen with this N button right there. We have a couple of connections, obviously the USB and 12 volt, the start stop engine over here. We also have a couple of cup holders and a big gloss black section over here that houses a little bit of a storage tray as well as your gear selector. You also have your electronic parking brake, which you can make sure your foot's on the brake, press down to deactivate, pick up to activate. We have a little S badge right next to the gear selector, and of course for all S4s, S5s, you get the 8-speed torque converter automatic. Little dimples on the top like on the steering wheel, which is pretty cool to see. We have the unlock at the back, and it is a full electronic gear selector. So we can pull it all the way back into drive, then also bump it down for a sort of transmission sport mode. Then you can also bump it over like so to do a full manual mode, which you could switch gears over here, and then also with the paddle shifters. We can press the unlock and bump it once up into neutral, and then bump it up twice into reverse. You can see the backup camera over here, and of course the 360 degrees view camera system is also available, and also a visual representation of your parking sensors will pull up too. Put it into park, you just press the P on the shifter. We have another nice slab of the carbon atlas inlay over here. Nice little storage place to put your key. Actually fits perfectly in there. Then we also have our volume knob and skipping between our tracks. Also some stitching on the side and some leatherette right there where your knee is going to rest. Taking a look at the side, we have a nice center console with some contrast stitching. You can lift that up, you have a little bit of storage, USB-C inlet, as well as your wireless charging pad. Taking a look at our passenger area, we have a pretty decently sized glove box. As you can see, you can also fit your owner's manual in there. Then we also have a spot if you'd like for a CD player. This is all felt lined. You also have some coin storage and also a pen holder in there as well. As you can see, the owner's manuals don't always fit in the glove box. A more suitable place is for on the left of the driver's seat there. Taking a look up here, we have the auto dimming frameless mirror with the compass on it. Looks very nice. On the center stack up here, we have some LED illuminated lights up here, which are touch sensitive. We also have some controls that turn all your interior lights on. Also your sunroof controls and maintenance and SOS controls. We have a full black headliner up here, and then we also have a shade that covers 100% of the light. You can either vent the sunroof up or put it all the way back. Very nice large sunroof, so it's a little bit larger than your normal sunroof would be. It's not a full panoramic unit, but it is just a little bit larger than a normal sunroof would be. We have our visors up here that'll unclip and move to the side, and they also, as you can see, extend like so. Put them back and you can also see that there's a mirror and some LED illumination up there with some grab handles. So that pretty much does it for the front cabin of the 2020 Audi S4. At this point in the video, I'm going to adjust the driver's seat for a normal seating position for my 5'10" self. We're going to climb into the back seats and see how much room and see how much amenities we have back there. Okay, so now that my seating position is adjusted, very solid sounding doors, we can check out the rear now. Very much so the same materials as the front door. So again, soft touch up here and down here, leatherette and Alcantara. Have the carbon atlas inlays, the lock button, as well as your door handle, the window switch, and a couple of Bang & Olufsen speakers, as well as a little storage place there. Take a look at our rear seats. Are also quilted with the stitching. Have the headrests over there and the magma red color. Very vibrant red color as well. And sitting behind myself, it looks like I have a couple of inches of legroom. Not too bad because they put this little cutout in the seats where your knees are. So it just gives you that little extra amount of space. You have mat pockets on both the backs of the front seats. And we also have our climate control back here. So you remember how I said it was a 3-zone climate control? You can adjust the rear temperatures back here as well. And also a part of the cold weather package which this car does not have would be your heated seat controllers for back here. We also have a couple of USB chargers and a 12-volt power outlet. You can again see this very beautiful smooth leather. We also have the armrest that kind of unclips and folds down. We have two individual cup holders to open, and also a little storage console in there too. I have grab handles up there as well as some illumination up top. There's a nice overview of the front of the car. So now that that's over with, we'll go ahead and check out what the trunk has to offer in the S4. Okay, so obviously as you've seen there are many ways to open the trunk, but for the sake of the video I'm going to double tap on the key fob just to show you that the trunk pops all the way open for you. Now it's not a powered trunk lid, however upon opening it will pop all the way open for you. There's probably some springs in there that assist with that. Now we have a very nice amount of space in the rear of the S4. It goes in quite deep, and you also have a pretty large opening, so you won't have any problems with getting larger items in there. Even if you needed to fold down the rear seats, they fold in a 40-20-40 fashion if you'd like. We have some storage nets on either side. This one a little bit larger with a 12-volt power outlet. We also have illumination up there and a grocery bag hanger that you can pull down right there. We have all of our floor mats. You can see your wheel locks kit as well as your jack. We have our all-weather floor mats back there, and then our carpeted ones over here. We'll lift this up to see that you do have a spare tire. And you have handles to either side of the trunk where you can just grab them and pull them right on down. Okay, so opening the lid to the 15.3 gallon fuel tank. According to the EPA, you should be seeing right around 20 miles per gallon in the city and around 27 on the highway. Of course, Audi recommends premium grade fuel since this is a high performance engine. You also have the cap and tether system, where at the end of the cap you see you have this little pin. And you can just stick it right there while you're fueling, and it won't dangle down and scratch your paint. Okay, so to wrap up this video, I hope you have enjoyed the 2020 facelifted Audi S4 just as much as I have, and I also hope you stay with us here at NNT Auto Reviews for many future videos to come.